Alright guys, so if you're watching this video, you should know that your Android phone is actually tracking your device, right, and is actually listening to you. So there are things that you need to turn off. There are things that you need to turn off on your device so that your Android will no longer track you and listen to your conversations and your messages, have access to your data and all of that, right? So that's what I want to show you in this video. So we are going to go over to our settings on our Android device, and its settings we are just going to be throughout, right? So we are going to do all the adjustments and all of that on our settings, right? So let's go over to settings right here, and don't forget guys, if you get any value, do well to subscribe to this channel, right? It really helps us out to, yeah, so subscribe. So I'm going to come over to settings right here. It is super simple. So once you're on settings right here, you want to come over to basically it should be here. You want to come over to where it says Google. So you're going to look for the Google section on your settings. Click on the Google section. Okay, click on it. All right, then you should see something like this, right? Basically you should see where it says recommended, and then you should see all service. So you want to click on all service. You want to go to all service right here. Super simple. And then once you're on all service, you want to come down to where it says privacy and security. Okay, so under privacy and security, we are going to just start with what it says, the third option, which is the personalized using shared data. So click on the personalized using shared data. Right now, what this basically means is that this personalized using shared data is actually very important, and most people don't know that your apps are actually using this to spy on you. So what this basically means is that it says here, let Google apps use on device data shared by these apps and other sources to improve your Android experience with things like better recommendation and suggestions. So basically what this means is that your contacts, Google can have access to your contacts, right? So, and it can share them to your other apps. So other apps on your phones and other companies, they have access to your contacts, right? They also have access to your media, right? Your music, the things you listen to, your voice notes and all those kinds of things, and the things you type, and anything that has to do with listening. All right, so your audios and all of that. So they have access to your music and all, anything related to typing, they have it. Also anything related to your messages, so they can see your messages, they can see the things that you send, they can see all these kinds of things, so they can easily spy on you, right? So they can easily spy on you and then also send those data to companies. So that's why sometimes you can be talking with somebody about something, maybe a particular clothes, and all of a sudden you're seeing an ad about that clothes, right? The reason why you can see that kind of thing is because these are the things that they use to track you. They spy on you using these three things right here. So you want to make sure that they are turned off. Honestly, you don't need your Google or your device, your Android, to have access to this. So you want to come here and turn them off right here. So once you turn them off, we are not actually done. We are just going to exit this, and then we are going to come here to where it actually says usage diagnosis, to click on it, right? And you want to also turn this on. Now let me show you what this is, right? And most people don't know that this is also a way that your device actually spies on you and sends this information to Google and other apps, right? So they are literally spying on you without your permission. So let me show you. It says it help improve your Android device experience by automatically sending diagnosis, right? Sending diagnostic device and sending diagnostic device and apps usage data to Google. All right, as you can see, it says here Google improve. It says here help improve your Android device experience by automatically sending diagnostic device and app usage data to Google. This will help battery life, system, and improve app stability and all of that, and other improvements. So basically what this is that they're actually studying the things you use, the app you use, how you use them, how long you use them, when you use them, right? Those kinds of information, they're literally studying you, everything you're doing. So you want to make sure that this is turned off as well, right? So these are the things that they are using to spy on you. They are very important that you actually turn them off. Okay, and it says here below, it says here turning off this feature doesn't affect your device ability to send you the information needed for essential services as a system update and security. But you want to make sure that this is turned off. All right, and then you want to also come over to these ads right here, which is one of the most important ones that they use to spy on you. So if you come to the first thing you see here, it says here reset ad ID. So this generates a new advertising ID, all right, that apps can use from now on. They can use from now on, right? So you can actually reset it this way. It restructures all the data that they have of you, right? So the ads that they are sending is based on what they've studied about you, based on your app usage and data usage on your phone, right? So you want to come here and then disable it, so basically scatter. So click on confirm right here, and then once you do that, you can also come further and click on delete. So you can delete advertising ID. So what this is, it says here, this deletes your current advertising ID, right? Apps can still show you ads, but they might not be as relevant and interesting to you, right? So they use it to study you, so you can delete it right there. And also, once you're done with that, right, there are also other things you want to do. All right, so you want to come to where it says add privacy, right? Add privacy. We come over to add privacy right here, and then it says here, the first one, it says add topic. So I click on it, it says here topics of interest are based on the apps you've used recently. So they are spying on you, right? So the topics and the type of ads, right, it says that they show you are based on apps that you've used recently. All right, so software things you've done and are used by apps to show you personalized ads. So they study everything you're doing on your phone. You don't know that they're actually studying you, right? It says here you can block topics you don't want shared with apps, right? Android also auto deletes topics regularly, which is obviously not true anyway, but you can come here and click on allow add topics, right? So allow add topics, so click on it, and you want to disable it, right? So allow add topics, you want to disable it right here. Once you're done with this one, you want to come over to where it says app suggested ads. So app suggested, it says here apps are used, apps you use can determine what you like and then suggest ads, right, on other platforms. So they're using, what this thing does is that they actually use the apps you're using. So think of your regular apps like your Facebook, your WhatsApp, your TikTok, your Instagram, you know, and all of that, Roblox, and those basic apps you actually use. What you don't know is that they're actually studying you. Okay, they are using the apps to study you. So you want to turn this off so that apps will not have access to spy on you, right? So your regular daily apps are actually being used to study you so that they can observe you and then be able to send you ads, and basically they give you information to companies that run ads. That's it. Because if you're using free apps like Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, all those ones that are free, you know that you're actually the product, right? If the apps are free, it means you're the product, so they have to study you and all of that. So they have to spy on you. So you want to make sure that this is turned off as well. You actually don't need it to be turned on, okay? And then we come here and then we exit it right here, and then we come to where it says add measurement, right? So add measurement, it says the apps and advertisers can request information from Android. Notice it says the apps and advertisers. This is crazy, guys. Apps and advertisers can request information from Android that helps them measure the performance. So they can go to your Android companies, right, and then they can request your data. They will give them every single thing, the apps you use, how long you use the apps, when you use the apps, what sites you go to, what websites you go to, what websites you don't go to, and how long you stay on those websites. They can get all those data. So apps can literally just go to your Android device, right? They can go to your Android companies and they just request your data, right? And the reason they can request it is because they are actually measuring you right here, right? So it's ad measuring right here. So you want to turn it off, okay? You want to make sure that these things are turned off, so that way you're not going to be spied on, right? You're not going to be spied on and listened to and observed and studied by this Android, and they're not going to be able to sell your data to companies. Okay, so yeah, so this is basically what to do, right, to fix all of this and make sure that your Android is not actually spying on you and, you know, taking advantage of you and observing you whilst you're using their app. So do well to like this video if you got any value, and don't forget to subscribe. It's very important to subscribe, right? And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.